Good evening and welcome to Dougherty Farms. My name is Will Dougherty III. Today is truly a red letter day in the 116-year history of our farm. Over the past few decades, our family's pastured small livestock up and down through these hollers, but it's been over 50 years since we've grazed any livestock in our fertile Black River bottomlands. And today, we're going to move our cattle down there. A year ago, Sierra and I purchased 2 third-stage cows and a bull for a good deal from our friends. Both of those cows calved successfully on their own, and now our little herd has grown to 5. After having some hay cut earlier this year, the good rains we've had this summer regenerated the fields, and now we've got tender, knee-tall Johnson grass growing unused. I said, you know what? With a fifth of the grazing season left, we could really fatten up those cows down there in that protein-rich Johnson grass. It's also part of an experimental move, part of our long-term vision to utilize those bottomlands to expand our herd. I've taken a 1/4-mile tailgate reel of poly-braid wire and step-in post and used that to build a 2-acre temporary enclosure. The challenge is, because of where the natural water is in the farm, I've got to move the cows from our lowest pasture that's fenced across 800 feet of unfenced field and forest before we get to our temporary fence that we've built. I've got a 3-sided enclosure because I want them to feel free to walk into this area, and as soon as they walk in, I'm going to grab the tailgate reel, run that wire across, put the step-in post connected to the charger, and then we should have a hot electric fence. We're moving our brand new herd of 5 cows that we've had less than a year. We're going to be moving those down from the Ozark foothill valleys and hillsides down into the Black River Valley. Alright folks, the cows are following us as we walk through the pasture here. Moo! Yep. We have got them moved across the gravel road, and they are going into the next pasture. We're going to be moving them on down, and as we continue, we're going to get them closer and closer to where we want them to go. Of course, Zekey boy, he is excited about getting food. He's like, give me some food, Daddy. Give me some food. You can hear the mowing machine going. Crunch, 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 as they are filling their stomachs right now. Now they're out here and the lean, mean grazing machine is getting ready to head on down. We are getting ready to move these fellas, so up, let's go! Moo! Come on. We are in motion. Let's go. Up. Alright. They're kind of familiar with where they're heading up and down through here, but they don't want to go unless I'm going to force them to, because they are wanting to get their belly full of some of this pasture that they haven't seen in a little while. And Della is a little bit curious about what's in the bucket. Alright folks, let's go across the gravel. Come on. Okay guys, I was going to try to move them in the morning, but now that I moved them all the way from the upper pasture down to here, and you know what, right now it's cool and they can't see anything to get distracted, and if something happens and they go rogue, I've got all night long to get them back in. So I'm going to go ahead and move these cattle right now instead of waiting until the early morning. Alright folks, we are in tow with the 4-wheeler. It is a little bit after 10 o'clock out here tonight, and we are heading to move the cows. We've got a bucket of corn in tow, and we are off down in the field. We've already moved the cows a little bit over a 1/4 mile, and we opened them up in here to the bottom of this pasture. From there, that's when we open them up into the open and are going to pull them with corn. We're going to coax them on down to the new pasture that I built this afternoon. Alright, we got cows in tow, and cows are following a bucket of feed. Let's go, guys. Come on. We are going through the culvert. Once we are through here, come on. Moo. Let's come. We were taking the drive slow but surely. Once I got them through the culvert, because they thought that was an enclosure, got them through the forested area. Once we got into the edge of the field and they saw there was lush Johnson grass, my bucket of corn had no more buying power. I was kind of worried, but from there, I was able to gently drive the cattle across the field and get them into the enclosure. I grabbed the fence like I was going to do, enclosed them, and got them in there with live voltage on the fence. However, the night was not filled with sleep because I was concerned. The cows had never been down there. There's not been cows down there for over 50 years. So I was kind of concerned whether or not they would stay in there, whether everything would go good, whether the fence would maintain the voltage that it was supposed to. So, needless to say, I didn't get a lot of sleep that night. Alright folks, it is 12:30 a.m. and I'm back down here checking the cows. We are going to drive across the field. Alright. Hey, how's the old bull doing? Alpha and Herkimer. Della, and looks like Betsy's taking a leak, so we know they are doing well. And I can see where they have marched all over that area, knocked the dew down, but they have not been over some of the other of the area. So, well, it's a little after 12:30 a.m. here on Dougherty Farm, and we're just double checking everybody because the cows have never been down here before. They were just a little bit skittish about going through that culvert, and rightly so, until I kind of coaxed Alpha over here through with a bucket of corn and made sure to accentuate the shining light through the other side. That way they realized they weren't walking into an enclosure. And once I got them through, kind of just eased them down through there. Once they got out here into this open field, back there about 500 feet or so, they kind of just went hog wild in all the Johnson grass because they've never had this kind of grass before, and their pastures was getting a little low. And I wanted to bring them down here so that they would be able to get a little bit fattened up before winter. I know Johnson grass develops prussic acid when it's stressed after the first frost, so we're going to keep them down here for probably about a month. This is the, well, I guess today is now the 3rd of September. But when I dropped them in here last night, it was the 2nd, so I think we'll get about a month on here before we get a hard frost and I have to move them off. But in the meantime, we got around a 1/6 of the grazing season out here that they've still got ahead of them on this really highly palatable and nutritious, protein-rich Johnson grass. So we're going to fatten them up a little bit before the winter hits. That way their body condition scores look a little bit better, and they've got a little bit more fat on them to get through this winter. So, alright guys, I'm signing off. I'll probably be back down a little bit to check on them. You guys have a good night. It is a beautiful morning out here. We've got a slight fog, as you can see, but the cows are in. The cows are doing good. They're just kind of getting up here and starting to munch. It's about 6:30 in the morning, and let's check the voltage. We're running around 6200 volts here, which is what we were about last night. Alright, the cows don't know it, but I have turned the voltage off. And this little run where they can get down to the edge of the water. Last night when I pulled the wire, these plastic posts were pulling over significantly, and I was afraid that that was going to pull out, and then my wire would be completely shorted out in the water. So this morning I've taken 2 posts, driven down. I forgot my post insulators, and I don't have time to go back and get them, so we made do with what we have, but they now have secure access to water. We are out here in the cattle pasture. Didn't get as much sleep as I wanted last night because I was concerned whether or not the cows would stay in the pen, especially being the dark like it was, but it looks like everybody's doing well. Cows have just got up and they're walking around. Everything's looking good. We still got a decent fog on this morning. Makes it beautiful out here. And we are going to work. Alright folks, this is Will Dougherty signing off. You guys have a great day. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you'd like more videos like this, just make sure you click the subscribe button, click the little bell notification to receive notifications when more videos like this come out. And of course, we'd always love to hear from you, so make sure you comment below, like, share the video, and thanks for watching. You guys have a great day.